I think they're the 90s. I don't know. What year? What? I don't know what they are.
There's a lot of joy in here. I'm Karen Rader, and I'll be leading our meditation here this morning. So join me in starting to settle in as we get ready to begin our meditation. We come to this moment fully blessed, fully sourced, and fully guided. For the divine light within is the guide. And we let our breath take us in the in-breath and the out-breath. Just being present with that beautiful, beautiful inspiration and expiration. And since March is the month when everyone finds a little Irish in their history, in their genes, in their life, and in their choice, I'm going to guide us in a little Irish blessing. Feel it for yourself, and then in conclusion of our meditation, we'll send it out to others. And we'll have plenty of time of silence. I invite you to receive right now. May the blessing of light be on you. Light without and light within. May the blessed sunshine shine on you and warm your heart. Warm it till it becomes a great peat fire, so that the stranger may come and warm himself or herself at it, and also a friend. And may the light shine out of your eyes like a candle set in two windows of a house, bidding the wanderer come in out of the storm. So as we come into meditation, out of the storm and into that silent place of safe, secure, precious being with the moment and being with the breath. And we say to the stranger, may the rain fall upon you, upon your spirit. And may all the little flowers in spring shed their sweetness in the air for your life this day. May the blessings of the earth support you in all that you do, think, and say. May you be blessed, and may your way be made clear, powerful, loving, and supported every day. May the light shine within and without. For all of us, we are one beautiful, magnificent light with every facet shining. Send it wherever you like. And if you choose, imagine yourself as that little leprechaun that can sneak into little places and bring joy where it's unsuspected. Bring love and kindness everywhere. And as our meditation comes to a close, we go forth to carry that with us, that ease in our hearts and minds, the spaciousness that we've created. And it's good and very good. Deep breaths in and out and feeling fully grounded and connected with the earth. We go forth to be our own unique selves. And Spirit says yes. Namaste. Thank you so much for sharing today.
take that long. So
It has been a long, hard climb.
what makes it hard?
Spiritual retardation, I guess.
You're back in the race, aren't you?
Always.
Okay, let's
You know, you should always put a date on a calendar, no matter how bad it gets, especially if it's bad. We said, if I still feel this way a year from now, then I'll take myself out.
There's always a better
No,
alternative.
but people don't always say that. And so people should be taught that if you feel like doing that, because I know someone who shot themselves in 6 months, and it's commit to yourself. If I still feel this way 6 months later, knock yourself out. Because the truth is, they won't.
well, maybe.
I told one,
I don't mean to be dour. No.
I remember telling my wife Carol, I felt so bad about her when the car crashed.
Yeah.
That we were coming back from Palm Springs, and I told her, I said, if you want in this car, I'm
Yeah.
sympathetic.
Yeah.
So we all get that
Yeah.
way at a certain time.
That's why you put it in the calendar. Like, give it 6 months. Fair is fair.
Yeah.
Bring it up.
Okay.
Good morning. Welcome to your Center for Spiritual Living here in Prescott. I'm Tom Kimberly, part of your leadership team. Whether you're here or online, know you're welcome just as you are. Thank you, Karen, for that pre-service meditation. Today, we not only have Reverend Donna Barnier speaking to us, she'll also be conducting a workshop from 12 to 1:30, revealing the divine within you. Ernest Holmes writes that there is a divine urge within everyone to know more, to be more, to express more. And he has found that the thing we're searching for is the thing we're searching with. So stick around and learn about the divine within you. Also, Clay has been finding lots of new ways for us to interact with our center, including a podcast that he's created. So if you're interested, I'm not familiar with a lot of the things he's doing, but I know a lot of people in here are. But if you want to know more, check with Clay. We got a lot of wonderful things coming our way. Also check with your bulletins and up on the screens for coming events. Blessings to you all, and have a great day.
Thank you, Tom. I'm Karen Rader, one of the practitioners here, and opening us up today with prayer for this service. Very excited for this day. So let's breathe it in. And breathe it out. We're in the flow here at the Center for Spiritual Living Prescott. We are so much in the flow that we know in our hearts we are actually welcoming a new minister to join us, and that is to be revealed, but we know that the welcome is planted here in our hearts for the new minister that will be leading this center. And in this moment, we have delight of a visiting minister, Reverend Donna, with us. So we know that her message will speak to our hearts and souls and carry us on our journey. Music, sound, laughter, connection, love, peace. And the fertilization for spring is happening not only on the outside, but especially on the inside, as we are ready for that newness of life every single day and every single moment. So with great, great gratitude as we begin today and smile in our own hearts and to each other, namaste. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Isn't this a great space that we have here? It's a beautiful oasis to get a recharge. And that's what these songs are for. These songs are for recharging, to get you through Monday through Saturday. This is an Eddie Watkins song. I've never told Eddie this. I don't know. I think he'd be cool with it, but I changed the words. Because Eddie wrote, anything is possible when you believe. I changed it for two reasons. Because it's easy to say when you believe and not talk about yourself. Hey, when you do this, it'll be great. So I changed that to I, to bring it back home. And then, of course, because of foundations, it's not when you believe, like down there in the future, in some unknown future time, I'll believe, and then everything will be possible. Everything is possible because I do believe. Sing this one with me, will you? Or not, your choice. Who am I to boss you around? But it is a toe tap. It's because I'm feeling the need for speed. It goes like this. Well, anything is possible when I'm asleep. I said anything is possible because I believe. I said faith can make a mountain move because I believe. I said faith can make a mountain move because I believe. Well, I know that I can change my life because I believe. I said I know that I can change my life because I believe in myself, in myself. I said in myself, that's right, in myself. Well, I'm gonna make a miracle because I believe. That's right, that's right. I said I'm gonna make a miracle because I believe. Well, everything I want I got because I believe. I said everything I want I got because I believe. I believe in myself. Everybody, in myself. That's right. In myself.
I get an amen?
Thank you, Jackson.
Make sure it's on.
Yeah, can you hear me, guys? Okay, well,
Okay.
welcome everyone today. Thank you to all our members and anybody who is new to the center. We're really glad to have you here. Thank you, Jackson, for that rousing song, and so on. So, as you know, we are a center that provides spiritual tools to make this a better world to live in. So we welcome you just as you are, whatever your experiences are and have been in life. We don't make any self-judgments or judgments of you, and everyone is entirely welcome. So we know that we don't have to do this alone. We have licensed professional practitioners available who can help you. We offer private sessions, and we also offer after the service. Karen will offer what we call a 3-minute miracle, and it's a prayer for you for whatever you might be dealing with today. You can also have a private session, and you can contact one of the 8 practitioners that we have available. So in the back of your chair, you'll see a little request for a prayer treatment. You can write that out and drop it in the box outside, or you can come up and request. Or you can come up and request a prayer. So we know that there are many ways to pray, and that's why we have a little ceremony that we do each week. So I'm going to invite the candlelighters to come on up, and we will read a little thing to honor each of these religions. So, the Center for Spiritual Living honors all faith traditions, and as we light a candle for the world's religions, it is to acknowledge both our multiplicity and our unity.
We light a candle for Christianity, based on the teachings of Jesus the Christ, who taught the path of love, forgiveness, and healing by the power within.
For Islam, the practice of submitting to the will of God as revealed to his prophets. Peace be upon them, who taught that there is one God, creator of the heaven and the earth.
For Judaism, a community of shared laws, traditions, and family ties that began with a covenant between Abraham and God.
For Buddhism, the middle path that ends suffering and awakens mindfulness and compassion.
For Hinduism, the path of knowledge, action, and devotion.
For the Native American traditions and those who walk the good red road, including the people of the sun, better known as the Yavapai.
For Baha'i, the path of unity and peace.
And for the goddess traditions embracing the divine feminine as maiden, mother, and crone.
And for the science of mind, which is the philosophy of life that teaches there is a power for good in the universe, and we can use it.
Thank you, Karen. Thank you, Jackson. And thank you, candlelighters. And now we will repeat the affirmation that we have regarding this. We are here for God. Our purpose is to express the nature of God as love, abundance, and joy in everything we do. The good we seek for ourselves is what we desire for all people everywhere, and so it is. And we'll have a brief meditation right now. Now we'll first of all have music. Sorry, I'm rusty right now.
silence, spoken joy. In the silence, there's relief. From a world full of chaos and noise, so I wait for these precious moments, and I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find myself. In the silence there is peace. In the silence there is unspoken joy. In the silence there's release from a world full of chaos and noise. So I wait for those precious moments, and I hear all that could never be said, and right here in this holy silence, I find God. I find myself. I find God. I find myself. I find God. I find myself.
In this holy moment, we find God and we find ourselves. And the two are one. No separation. Let us know that in our hearts right this very moment. Breathing it in and out. I know that that which I am is God in me, as me. And in this knowledge, I know that my spirit is free of all limitation. I pause to know that as my mind of God knows this truth about myself, my thoughts affirm divine source is waking up every single day, every single moment. So in these moments of silence, let's feel the waking up and just go into that of the quiet, the waking up of spirit within. I declare the truth of my real nature today. I live it and breathe it. I walk it and sing it. I share it and give it. And with that, I can just feel that joy bubbling up right now, as we all do, and together we say, and so it is. Thank you, life. Thank you, spirit.
So our soloist, we're going to give, we're going to, let's do a quick collective healing intention towards our soloist, Juliet LaPointe today, who's just dealing with some health issues this morning, and so she couldn't make it. So real quick, knowing that all is well with her and her family's health, and so it is. And so you know what that means. I'm the soloist today. And oh, that's good. I thought you were going to go, oh. And actually, in today's, this morning, part of being a soloist is applying the principles of CSL, because there's a song that says, all is well and unfolding as it should. And sometimes I forget that and assume that it is not unfolding as it should. For example, when I'm like, I need to play some new songs today, let me print these up, and the printer doesn't work. I think to myself, this is not unfolding as it should. So I'm going to change that and say, the fact that my printer refused to print this morning and I had to give up on that is exactly how it should have been. And so that is. Because it gives me a chance to play this song, which when you play songs, you probably like with anything, you just play them and know that the universe is making you play something that is exactly what someone needed to hear. This is another Eddie Watkins song. About letting go. Every morning the light keeps getting brighter as I wake up to the truth. And every day I'm feeling so much lighter, and the world looks fresh and new. What I was taught and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. And now I'm learning to trust in the God of all of us. Each day I start anew, and so I'm walking away from the feeling that held me for so long. Today is the day I'm walking away from the feeling that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led to such confusion. Today is the day I walk away. Every day I walk away. Every morning brings a new beginning. By grace, another day to be. And I awaken to the sun upon me shining, lighting the way for me to see. Oh, what I saw and the way that I thought stopped serving me long ago. And now I'm learning to trust the God of all of us, of yesterday and letting go. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is that led to such confusion. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the thinking that held me for so long. Today is the day I walk away. I'm walking away from the path that led to such confusion. Today is the day I walk away. Today is the day I walk away. Well, every day I walk away.
Food available if you plan on attending. We'll have some soup and salad and a little treat. And we'll start promptly at 12, is it? 12 o'clock here in the sanctuary. And it is just a love offering. So without further ado, it's my pleasure right now to welcome Donna to the stage. Thank you, Donna.
Thank you, thank you. I'm so excited to be here. Not only do I know Grace, and she's amazing, from Seal Beach, Pam Van Drill was one of my teachers leading up to my practitioner classes. So I'm so grateful to reconnect with Pam, and Reverend Paula is here, who is my mentor minister throughout the School of Ministry and in the early days of my ministry, and actually also ordained me as well back in 2007. So I am so grateful to be here and to celebrate Spirit today, because that's why we're here. I know we've been talking a lot about letting go of things and being there for one another. But when we're talking a lot about letting go of things and being there for one another, but when we're letting go of something, what are we going towards? I noticed in the lyrics this morning, it said, our faith can move mountains. Most of us, at least when I started in Science of Mind, I was thinking of the physical mountains outside. But no, I think the mountains are the mountains in our own life. What is it that we have given a label of a mountain that maybe we feel is unsurpassable, but in reality, through faith and through principles, we can find a way through them or over them or around them. There's so many ways to move a mountain. And I know for the global theme for this month, for Centers for Spiritual Living, it's about creating authenticity, cultivating the truth of who you are. And for this week, I wanted to talk about masks. Most of us think of masks around the holidays, like Halloween. We think about some of that. But in reality, we wear a mask all the time. I've been a hospice chaplain for almost 15 years, and been a grief counselor for longer than that. And we talk about masks quite often when we're grieving, because a mask is something that you put up that you want people to see, right? And when we're hurting or we're sad or we're confused or we're not quite sure how to feel, we don't often feel safe to share that with somebody. So we might put a mask on. If I were to ask you what mask do you normally put on if you're feeling unsure, I bet you would say a smile. Hold up a smile. But in reality, there's a light that's within you that's the divine, that's guiding you, that's the truth of who you are. And when we can look past that mask and maybe allow it to crack just a little bit, we might find there's love at the center of that, the center of who we are. When we reflect that love and that light that is Spirit, we have so many opportunities to connect with one another on a heart level. Because that's why we're here. Connection, joy, love, peace. All of those things. Brene Brown says, authenticity is the daily practice of letting go of who we think we're supposed to be and embracing who we are. When we can embrace the love that we are, we have an opportunity to truly be present and feel and sense the love and the light of who we are. When I was driving up here, not only did I find a Dutch Brothers, we don't have those in Southern California, I found Mortimer's Nursery. And I love nurseries, but how many of you know that the original name of Mickey Mouse was Mortimer Mouse? Walt Disney, when he drew Mickey Mouse on a napkin, he called him Mortimer. And his wife, Lillian said, "Don't think that's an enduring name. You might want to think about that." I worked for Disney for 16 years, and I've never forgotten that story. And he thought about it, and he came up with Mickey Mouse. And what does Mickey Mouse represent to a lot of us? Joy, happiness, youthfulness, love. And I think that's the gift that we have. So I kind of feel welcomed from all areas today, coming through all the beautiful mountains and loving people here that I've gotten to meet over the internet, on the phone, in person. Because that's truly what we're here, is to connect. That mask separates us sometimes. And in reality, the truth is there's no separation. I often think about, if I'm feeling separated from the divine, I'm asking myself, well, who moved? Because the divine is always present within me. Something in me moved. A fear, something in my consciousness, or an experience. But the reality is there's that connection, that absolute divine beingness. Ernest Holmes says, life is not just something to be endured, it is to be lived in joy and in fullness without limit. So when we have that opportunity to find where our limits are, I liked what Jackson said this morning about changing it to I believe. What do I believe is a limit? Maybe there's something I could push past that with co-creating with the divine, because that's how we create our life, as we co-create with the divine. There's that divine seed that's within us. But the reality is we do the work with the divine in life. Whether it's to smile at a stranger is a friend I haven't met yet. It's kind of my definition of a stranger. Or I can't remember if I saw it on the Prescott website, but someone was smiling and they had a mask on, but you can see the smile through the mask. You could feel it. Because even if you're on the phone with someone, you can tell what kind of mood they're in. Can't see them, there's no body language, but there's that reality of you can feel it. It's the divine having an intimate moment with the divine. And intimacy is into me I see. When I go within, I can see who I am. If I can let go of that mask, I can be who I am. Reverend Paula shared a story with me last night that I had forgotten, and I wanted to share it with you today because it reminded me of what I was talking about today. There's a gentleman at the end of life who was preparing to pass, and he was really, really upset, and the person he was with was saying, "Why are you so scared? What's wrong?" And he goes, And he goes, "Are you afraid when you see God, he's going to ask why you weren't like Buddha? Well, are you afraid that he's going to ask you why you weren't more like Christ? No, I'm afraid he's going to ask me why I wasn't more like me. Why wasn't I more like me? What are we afraid of in showing who we are in the world? We're an amazing spiritual community. When I walked through the doors at the Huntington Beach Church at 17, if I could blend to a wall, I'd been a happy camper. I was very shy. This teaching taught me about life. It taught me about choices. It taught me about empowerment. Our principles are practical applications that we can use in our world every day by showing up as love, by showing up as joy, by showing up as that person who holds your hand when you're having a difficult day, because we have those as humans. But we love one another through that. We acknowledge the divine that's within us, that part of us that is birthless, deathless, changeless, can never be touched, never be hurt. It's within us. And when we have that opportunity to express it out into the world, so many amazing things can happen. But we have to trust it. Ernest Holmes says in Creative Mind and Success, there is something which waits only for our recognition to spring into being, bringing with it all the power in the universe. It waits for us to say yes. When Jackson was saying that sometimes things don't happen the way we think they should, but they always are. When I found my way to practitioner, I wasn't planning on taking the panels. I was just doing it for self-growth. I wanted to get more. I wanted to learn more what we taught, who we were. And all of a sudden, I was sitting there in my panels going, oh boy. But I said yes to the universe. I said yes to life. And it was the most amazing experience in that moment. I had a lot of people praying. I believe in prayer. I believe in the power of prayer. That is my go-to spiritual practice. Because that spiritual mind treatment reconnects us with the divine within us. If I'm feeling like I'm going a mile a minute, stop and go to prayer. Take a breath. Remind myself that I'm made in the image and likeness of the divine, as are each and every one of us. What a gift that is, to be able to share that. For those of you have seen Frozen or Frozen 2, my favorite Disney movie, and I have to say I worked there for 16 years, so I saw a lot of movies. I have a daughter. She loved Disney movies. My favorite of all the ones I've seen in my lifetime is Frozen and Frozen 2, because they talk about spirituality in that film for me. Elsa is learning how to be comfortable with who she is. She's been taught to hide herself. She's been taught to not trust herself, right? It's the message she's gotten. And finally, as she gets into Frozen 2, she's realizing that it's okay to show yourself, to be who she is. And some of the lyrics, my daughter can sing, and she sings these songs quite often, but it says, show yourself. I'm dying to meet you. Show yourself. It's your turn. Are you the one I've been looking for all of my life? He goes on to say, show yourself. Step into your power. Throw yourself into something new. If that's not science of mine, I don't know what is. Show yourself. Be willing to drop that mask. Be vulnerable. We're careful with who we're vulnerable with at times, but find that person or persons, whether it's a practitioner or a minister or your best friend. I go to what I call coffee clutch with my friend, and we have our favorite coffee and we talk about what's going on in the world, but we remind each other of the divinity that we are. We remind ourselves of the love that we are. Because in reality, all we have is that opportunity to be present right now. Do I want to get to the end of my life and realize I hadn't been who I was or who I thought I wanted to be? Growing up, I wanted to be a nurse. I ate, breathed, studied, everything nursing. That wasn't my calling. I moved into chaplaincy when I graduated ministerial school. I married my love of health and medicine and spirituality for 15 years. I was answering that call. Are we willing to answer the call by letting go of a mask and being authentic to who we are? Are we willing to have that courage to be empowered with who we are? Are we willing to trust the divine and see it? Wayne Dyer, who he says, it's not when you believe it, you'll see it. It's you'll see it when you believe it. I think I said that right. There's one thing you should know about me. I'm very good at getting punchlines backwards. I'm very good at forgetting a key word, and I've learned to laugh. But Wayne Dyer says, let the world know why you're here and do it with passion. Do it with enthusiasm. Do it with excitement. I remember that from Pam Van Drill in class. She was always happy. I was tired. I'd been to school. I'd been to work, whatever was going on in my day that day. And every day in class, Pam was there with her music stand and all of her books, but Patty was the teacher, co-teacher, and all she knew how to do was laugh. And I'm going, I'm really tired. But it was infectious. It was a reminder that all I have is this moment. So thank you, Pam, and to get to see you all these years later. I licensed as a practitioner in 2003. So it's been almost 20 years, and I remember when I licensed, I went, that's a really long time. I'm 53 now, and it's been a long time, but it's been a short time at the same time. Do you realize that? How fast life goes sometimes when you're having fun or not looking? But what are we doing with the time? When I get to the end of this human journey and it's time to lay my body down, I want to be able to say I was me. There's a lot of people I wish I was like. Believe me, I have role models and people who've been there for me that have taught me life and have taught me everything. And I realized I have to be me. They've guided me, encouraged me, been my cheerleader. But they were seeing the divine in me before I could see it. And I think we do that for everybody else. You might have a family member or a friend that you see a potential in them that they don't see yet. That's the divine urge within you, guiding you and encouraging you and living that joy of life. That joy of life. There's a story called the Golden Buddha. And way back, centuries ago, there was a little village that had a monastery. And they had a beautiful golden Buddha. And they knew they were about to be invaded. So the monks wanted to do something to preserve their Buddha. So they covered it in clay and mud and dirt. And it looked really drab. And they were invaded, but nobody survived. So nobody knew about that Buddha, or what was really underneath that Buddha. And many, many, many centuries later, all of a sudden there was a monk who was meditating under the Buddha. And he saw something falling. He saw a gleam. He saw something shiny. So he went and he got the other monks. He was a very new monk. And they started chipping away at it until they realized it was solid gold Buddha. All those years, they had no idea of the jewel they had in their Buddha. What happens if we chip away at the clay or remove the mask to find that golden Buddha within us? Because it's there. Absolutely, it's there. But do we take the time to do that? Do we take the time to chip away and trust that if there's a spot in us that isn't feeling right, that maybe that's how the light's getting in, maybe that's how the divine is expressing through us, and be able to really, truly, and be enfolded in the love of God in that moment. There's a story called the crack pot, and I use this quite often with some of my newly bereaved because they're really struggling with these new changes in their life and what's happening, and it's hard when you're newly grieving. But there's a story called the crack pot, and it's about a villager who has one of those long, like sticks with two pots on the sides. Has anyone heard this story? And the servant takes those pots down to the river every morning to fill them, and he's going to take water back to the house. But one of the pots is cracked, and it knows it. And so by the time the person gets down there, fills the pots, and gets it back up to the main house, half of that one pot is empty. And it's feeling really, really bad. And it's feeling like it's not doing what it's called to do here, what its purpose is, why it was created. And it's really struggling. And then one day it says something to the person. He goes, I'm not fulfilling my potential. I'm not doing what I was called to do. And he's asking the pot, what do you mean by that? And he says, well, as you know, by the time you get me back up to the main house, half of the water is gone. You don't have everything you need. The person said, I want you to think about this. Tomorrow morning when we go down to the river, I want you to take a look at the pathway. Just observe. So the next morning he takes the pots down and he fills them with water and he comes back. And he says, did you notice anything on this adventure, this trip down to the river? And he said, well, yeah. There were flowers on one side of the pathway. He goes, did you see it on the other side? No. And he goes, I knew about your crack. I knew that there was a hole there. So I planted seeds on that side of the pathway so that you would water it every day. So now I have beautiful flowers that we can bring into our home and bring joy and bring beauty and bring a smile. I've known all along that you had a hole, a crack in that pot. You were doing what you were called to do. You just didn't know it. How often do we feel that same way? And in reality, we're showing up for someone we may not even realize. Pam had no idea when I was in those classes how nervous I was, and I mean, I didn't want to talk. Now you can't make me stop. But she nurtured something in me. Reverend Paula, the same thing. She saw light in there. She nurtured it in her own way. They both allowed me to blossom in my own way, in my own timeline. I got to know Grace at the Seal Beach Church, and it was so much fun. I was teaching, she was learning, she was teaching me, and I was learning. That's what classes are about. We teach each other. That's the divine having its way within, through, and as us. We have that opportunity to celebrate the divine in every minute. We have to say yes. It's not going to force us. We always have choice. One of my favorite things about metaphysics is we have our own volition. We can choose or not choose, but either way, we're making a choice. I choose love. I choose joy. I choose to let down that mask when I'm feeling safe. And maybe when I'm not feeling safe. Being vulnerable is a scary thing, but in reality, when I'm vulnerable, I'm really trusting the divine has my back, because it does. It absolutely does. Because all there is God. E.M. Cummings, I'll share this last quote, says, "The greatest battle we face as human beings is the battle to protect our true selves from the self the world wants us to become." I'm going to invite us to be the person we're called to be. No matter what the outside world is saying or showing or expressing, show up as you. You won't be disappointed, because the you who wants to call itself forth through you is the divine wanting to express itself. It's why we're here. It expresses itself through us, as us, in our thoughts, our choices, our actions, our words, simply our beingness. We never have to say a word. How many of you have been in a room with someone and no words were spoken, but in the silence, you felt the love that was there? That's the divine expressing itself through each and every one of us. I'd like to invite us to turn within in prayer, because I recognize and know that there's a divine presence, there's a divine light, there's a divine spark that is within each and every one of us. It is that truth of who we are, that God and I are one, that you and I are one in God, that there is that spot where God is not. There is no place where I do not feel, sense, and know the divine from within. And I claim and know that truth for each and every one of us. Because when we allow that truth of who we are to shine forth in whatever way we are called to do it, that there is that divine light that says yes. There is that divine light that expresses itself in magnificent, beautiful, joyful ways. As I step into that power and that light, I say, thank you, God. Giving thanks for this time together, I am so grateful. Releasing my word into the law, I know it is done. I let it be, and so it is. Thank you for allowing me to be here this morning. Namaste.
Thank you so much, Jackson. It was beautiful. Thank you, Donna, for your talk. You can stay on the stage, though, Donna, if you want. Okay. And now it is our time of giving and helping to support our center. So we're going to ask the ushers to come forward. And we can donate in many ways. Some of us donate here at the center. Some of us donate online. You can go on to our website if you wish to sign up for monthly donations. You can also text by using the number 844-917-1240. And we like to say an affirmation while we're donating. So if that is on the screen, you can repeat it. Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, life. And now I invite our guest singer again to perform for us.
Well, this one goes under the category of what I said earlier about the printer, but I came in and made sure I could still play it. And someone said, that is one of my favorite songs. So I'm just going to say it was a request. And apparently the theme today is the songs that I'm choosing here today are about letting go, which I think is part of the process of new thought, of letting go of things that don't serve. And sometimes that's hard because the thing isn't bad. Well, fare you well, my honey. Fare you well, my only true one. All the birds that were singing are flown, except you alone. Well, I'm gonna leave this broke down palace on my hands and my knees. I will roll, roll, roll. Make myself a bed by the waterside. Well, in my time, I will roll, roll, roll. Well, in a bed by the waterside, I will lay my listen to the river sing sweet songs to rock my soul. The river gonna take me, sing me sweet and sleepy. Sing me sweet and sleepy all the way back home. It's a far gone lullaby sung many years ago. Mama, mama, many worlds have come since I first left home. Going home by the waterside, I will rest my bones and listen to the river sing sweet songs to rock my soul. I'm gonna plant a weeping willow on the bank's green edge. It will grow, grow, grow. Sing a lullaby beside the water. Well, Lovers, they come and go, but the river, roll, roll, roll. Fare thee well, fare you well. I loved you more than words can tell. And listen to the river sing sweet songs to rock my soul. Fare you well, fare you well. I loved you more than words can tell. Listen to the river sing sweet songs to rock my soul. I'm gonna listen to the river sing sweet songs to rock my soul. I'm gonna listen to the river sing sweet songs to rock my soul. Thank you all.
Thank you, Jackson. Always a pleasure to hear you sing. So I'd like to invite the ushers up so that we may do the final blessing. Right now, I know I don't have the mic, but I have a pretty loud voice sometimes. So I'd like to invite the children in. Oh, no, wait, I forgot. Well, they can come in anyway. Okay. I'd like to stand for a moment. Yes, and what is your name? Noel. Well, are you from Prescott or Prescott Valley? I'm not. I'm here for a week. Oh, you're here for a week. Okay. Well, welcome here. We're glad to have you. Now, for any new visitor, we offer you a free book from our used bookstore. So before you leave, you can pick up one. You can ask the lady at the book in the book room and the bookstore for that. Anybody else who is new or returning after a long time? No? Oh, one more. Okay, go ahead. Two more. Hi, Danielle. And welcome.
Hi, Danielle.
You also are entitled to a free book. Yes.
Paula, I live here in Prescott. My mother, Jamie Drew, used to attend this church. I've been here a number of times with her. I came back here to spend the last couple of years with her. She passed recently, so very glad to be here this morning.
Well, thank you, Paula. And
My name's Dirk, and I brought Willie here today. He's not standing up. He brought me.
Lee brought you. Well, we're glad to have you here. Thank you for coming, Dirk. Okay, I think now we can invite the children to come on up. Okay.
So today we talked about being our original selves and how sometimes we don't want to be that. So for example, our model here, her first mask says, "I must be perfect," which is not true. And the bottom mask says, "Don't speak, just smile," which is definitely not that either. Oh, also, I made a mask that's based on clouds in the sky because my mask looks like a cloud.
I'm just a light and flowery person.
Yeah.
Not really. Sometimes. But it was an interesting discussion with the children, and we realized that at times we all put on our masks. So maybe not everybody does, but many of us do.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you. So we come to the end. So right now we would like to say our benediction, and if you would rise, and we will sing our peace song. And if you're comfortable, you can hold hands. So repeat after me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is happening through my mind, my body, and my affairs. I think it, I believe it, I know it, I feel it, I accept it. Thank you.